I woke to the taste of metal. Not the cold tang of a medical instrument. This was deeper, electric, like lightning trapped in my tongue. My eyes snapped open, and for a moment I thought I was drowning. Pale blue fluid drained away from my mouth and nose as gravity returned, and I coughed, gasping. The air burned with sharp sweetness. Alien air. I knew that instantly, though I couldn't explain how. I lay on a curved platform of black glass, veined with faint violet light. Above me stretched a ceiling of translucent crystal, through which stars drifted slowly, distorted by rippling energy fields. The room hummed with quiet power, not the clean hum of human technology, but a living resonance, as if the ship breathed around me. I sat up. My clothes were gone. Instead, I wore a seamless gray fabric clinging like a second skin. My skin prickled with static. A faint line of silver circuitry traced along my wrist like a tattoo. Footsteps approached. Not footsteps, something smoother. Gliding. She entered. The alien queen was tall, easily 7 feet, her form slender and elegant. Her skin shimmered like pearl under moonlight. 2 elongated horns swept backward from her head, decorated with rings of glowing metal. Her eyes were vast pools of iridescent violet, ancient and sharp. A crown of living crystal floated above her brow, rotating slowly. I froze. She regarded me like one might study an interesting specimen. "You are awake," she said. Her voice was not spoken aloud. It bloomed directly inside my mind, warm and resonant. I scrambled backward. "Where am I? Who are you?" "You are aboard the sovereign void carrier Valkyra. I am Queen Sothera of the Astrix Dominion." My heartbeat roared in my ears. "You abducted me?" Her head tilted slightly. "I rescued you." Before I could respond, a sudden tremor shook the chamber. A low alarm pulsed through the walls, vibrating in my bones. Sothera turned toward the crystalline ceiling, where stars suddenly flashed with streaks of red light. "Enemy fleet," she said. "They found us sooner than expected." I stared upward. "What enemy?" "The Devourers." The word carried terror, even in thought form. A cold whisper crawled through my skull. Sothera stepped closer. "Your species calls itself humanity. We have watched you. Your world stands on the brink of encountering the Devourers. When they arrive, you will not survive unprepared." "I'm just one guy," I said. "Why bring me here?" She raised a hand. The silver circuit line on my wrist pulsed. Memories that were not mine surged. Visions of colossal organic warships, cities being peeled from planets, oceans boiled away. I collapsed to one knee, gasping. Sothera knelt before me, her eyes meeting mine. "Because your mind adapted faster than any species we've tested. You endured the imprint. That means you can interface with the Strix war logic." "I don't understand." "You will," she said. "But first, we must survive." The ship lurched again, this time violently. The ceiling shimmered, revealing space in full clarity. A swarm of black shapes drifted toward the Valkyra. Devourer vessels. They looked alive, writhing masses of armored flesh and jagged bone plates, their maws glowing with inner fire. Fear rooted me in place. Sothera stood, her posture regal and terrible. "Come," she commanded. She led me through curved corridors that pulsed faintly like arteries. Alien warriors lined the halls, tall Astrix soldiers holding weapons made of crystallized energy. Their eyes glowed in disciplined calm. We entered a vast chamber. The bridge. A sphere of holographic starlight hovered at its center, showing the approaching swarm. "Activate the neural interface," Sothera said to no one in particular. A tendril of silver light reached from the floor and wrapped around my head like liquid metal. I tried to pull away, but gentle force held me still. Sothera placed a hand on my shoulder. "Do not resist," she said softly. "I need you." The silver light pierced my thoughts, and suddenly I was the ship. I felt the Valkyra's vast body, her shields flaring like skin. Her engines throbbed like hearts. Streams of tactical data flowed through my mind. Enemy trajectories, weapon arcs, probabilities. I cried out, but the sound was lost in the storm of information. Sothera's voice anchored me. "Guide us." "I've never flown a starship," I shouted. "You have played games, simulations, strategy constructs. Your neural pathways are suited for command logic." I laughed hysterically. "You brought me here because I'm good at video games?" Her tone remained serene. "Your species learns war through play. An efficient adaptation." The Devourers fired first. Beams of molten energy struck the Valkyra's shields. I felt pain, real, sharp, cutting through my thoughts. Instinctively, I shifted power, rerouted shield vectors, angled the hull. The ship obeyed. We rolled aside, gliding between blasts. Astrix's weapons fired back, lances of violet light tearing into the nearest Devourer craft. It burst open, spilling molten biological matter into space. More surged forward. I saw openings, patterns. The Devourers moved like predators, but predictable ones. I fed commands through thought. Fighters launched. Shield harmonics adjusted. A lattice of energy spread outward. One by one, Devourer ships shattered. But there were too many. A massive vessel emerged at the rear, an enormous living fortress, its maw opening to reveal a pulsing singularity. Sothera stiffened. The Brood King. The ship shook as gravitational force dragged us forward. I struggled against the pull in the neural link. My mind burned. "Disengage." I yelled, but power was failing. Shields faltered. The Brood King's maw glowed brighter. Sothera stepped beside me and pressed her forehead to mine. Her mind flooded into mine. Strength, clarity, will.
"Human," she said.
"You are not alone." Together, we pushed. Every ounce of will I had surged into the ship's core. I redirected all remaining power into a single weapon, something Sothera called the Void Sphere. The ship's spine opened. A beam of condensed reality tore forward. It struck the Brood King directly, in its open maw. The creature howled, a psychic scream that shook stars. Then it collapsed inward, imploding into a burst of white light. The shockwaves scattered the remaining Devourers. Those not destroyed fled into the darkness. Silence returned. The silver tendril withdrew from my head. I collapsed onto the bridge floor, drenched in sweat. Sothera stood over me. "You saved us," she said. I laughed weakly. "Guess I'm good at games." Her lips curved into something like a smile. "You are more than that." Days passed. Or weeks. Time blurred aboard the Valkyra. I learned the Astrix language. Learned their war. Learned the coming threat. The Devourers were spreading toward human space. One day, Sothera brought me to the viewing chamber again. Earth glowed faintly in a distant projection. "Your world is next," she said. "But it does not have to fall." "What do you want from me?" I asked. She turned to me, eyes bright and unreadable. "I claim you," she said simply, "as my bonded commander, as voice of humanity among the stars." My heart pounded. "You mean I don't get to go home?" "You will return," she said, "but not as you were. You will carry our knowledge, our alliance, our warning." I stared at Earth's tiny blue light. Fear rose. Then determination. If the Devourers come, I said, humanity will need a fighting chance. Sothera placed her hand over my silver-marked wrist. The circuit pulsed. Then rise, Commander, she said. The galaxy awaits. Sothera stood beside me as the stars drifted beyond the viewing glass. A projection of Earth shimmered between us, small, fragile, beautiful. The Devourers will come, she said. But now, your world will not face them blind. A crystal shard floated into my hand, warm and alive. Knowledge whispered inside it.
Power.
Warning.
Hope.
You will return home, Sothera said, as our chosen voice, as humanity's first commander among the stars. I closed my fingers around the shard and looked at my distant planet. I'll make sure they're ready, I said. The warship turned toward the void. A smaller craft carried me away, stars stretching into brilliant lines. I had opened my eyes on an alien warship. Now I was returning home with a galaxy at my back. And the war had only just begun.